Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is the first installment of the Big Smooth Show featuring. Go ahead, introduce yourself,
Your
Big
boy,
Cool.
your boy Jarrell, aka Big Cool, Bama boy.
And it's your boy Smooth Cat, Chicago. You guys already know the deal. And today we here to break down Bernard Hopkins versus Sergey Kovalev. First, well, you know what, Big Cool, I'll let you get the first word.
Well, first off, to start this off, this is a very exciting fight. One of the most anticipated fights of the year, if not the most anticipated fight. It's an evenly matched fight. You got a legend, living legend, and Bernard Hopkins, who's going to be 50 years old in January, trying to, again, write more history and defeat the power punching, you know, Russian who just destroys his opponents. Um, and you have Kovalev who's up and known for his brutal power and his exciting fighting style, who's trying to dethrone and finally put the final nail in the coffin of the great Bernard Hopkins. And I think this is a interesting fight, and I can't wait for Saturday, and I can't wait to divulge into this breakdown video.
Most definitely will. So, like
What
you
about
say, on it, like I say, I'm very excited for this fight because, as we know, like you say, Bernard Hopkins is constantly chasing history, trying to constantly move himself up the all time pound for pound ranks. And then for Sergey Kovalev, this is the fight that will let everyone know if he's ready for prime time. Because if he loses to Bernard Hopkins, we have to. I mean, you're gonna catch a lot of people call him a hype job and things of that sort, which is, I mean, which would be far from the truth. But I mean, you know how the critics in boxing are today, so that's how it goes. But I mean, to break this fight down, basically, like you say, we got a process where we're gonna give you keys, and Big Cool will give you who he thinks gonna win, and I'll tell you who I think's gonna win. But so we're gonna start off with. Go ahead, Big Cool.
Well, I believe a key for Sergey Kovalev is to not get mentally taken out of his game. He's gonna have to. I don't know how. I'm not gonna say he can outbox Bernard Hopkins, but he can. He can have success in moments, outboxing Bernard Hopkins, who's not as active. He's never really been an active fighter, so he needs to try to take you know some game plans from Joe Calzaghe, Jermaine Taylor, Roy Jones in their first fight, and try to be as active as he can by being effective, also being cautious and being smart, and making each shot he throw count. And that's when he should really go to the body. You know what I'm saying? He should really dig to the body early, because if not, what I'm saying, if he's just head hunting, early on, this is what Bernard Hopkins want, because he's gonna throw if he throws the looping shots, he comes up top. All Bernard Hopkins is gonna do is clinch, because he's gonna bring himself to him. So he needs to go downstairs early and often. That just need to be his main focus. Jab and work the body, and get those hands to drop. And once he get those hands to drop, then Bernard Hopkins is gonna be in all kinds of trouble. But he has to be mentally strong, and use his jab and work the body early and often to get himself in position in the mid to late rounds to take it home.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll say this to start off with Sergey Kovalev. First and foremost, I think Kovalev needs to establish some type of consistent body work, either whether it's a jab, a straight right hand, maybe even punching Hopkins in his chest. Establish hit just touching him, period. Because as we know, Bernard Hopkins is a good defensive fighter who has good head movement, even though his last few fights, he's actually stopped moving his head some to like make it a more exciting fight. But in this one against Kovalev, he doesn't want to do that. You don't want to put your head on a swivel against a devastating puncher of that fashion. But what I will say also for excuse me, like for Bernard Hopkins, Hopkins things is we like you say, Hopkins is good defensively, and he could potentially make Kovalev make a few mistakes as he does with basically everybody he's fought. So I'm looking for Hopkins to really come out in this one. First, he's going to establish the jab, and he's going to throw some right hands. But I'm looking for the left hook to be the key for Bernard Hopkins, because I've seen Kovalev hit with quite a few left hooks, and it's like he don't get me wrong, Kovalev, he's a good fighter, but I know he gets hit with a lot of left hooks and straight rights. But he gets hit with the left hook more than anything. But we also need to see another thing. Another factor is, can Bernard Hopkins deal with Sergey Kovalev's power?
That is an interesting question that we will find out. B Hop is known to have a great chin. He was down twice back in 2010 against Pascal in the first fight. Even though he wasn't really visibly shaken up, maybe those are just balance shots or behind the shots or temple shots, but still, the power was there and there was enough power to get him on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I think he was not. I don't know if he's ever been knocked out, but I know he was. I think hurt to the body back in early in his career against. I don't know the fighter's name, but I think he was. That's when the most trouble I've seen him in his career. But if he can take the power of Kovalev, then Kovalev, the only way I see him beating him is if he, like I said, goes to the Roy Jones, Joe Calzaghe, Jermaine Taylor way and just outworks him, out hustles him. And go that route, because Bernard Hopkins is like, you can't say this enough. He's an experienced legend. He knows all the tricks to the trade. He's mentally prepared. He's physically prepared, and he fears no one. And it always seems that he has the right game plan for each fighter, and he just seems to be able to dictate the pace every time he goes in. That's why he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. And the ball is really in Kovalev's court to make B-Hop do what he want to do, because if he doesn't, it's going to be a long night. It's going to probably look like Kelly Pavlik all over again, Tavares Cloud all over again, the guy he fought recently, Shumanov, all over again. Mm-hmm. So it's basically, if he can't hurt him, he's going to have to outwork him. And if he can't outwork him, it's going to be a long night for him.
You know what? Now, something that something else about this fight that intrigues me is how, I mean, like with a style like Bernard Hopkins, I'm wondering, like some you mentioned earlier about him staying mentally focused. How is Kovalev gonna deal with Bernard Hopkins? Because we know Bernard Hopkins like to play mind games with you in the ring. So I'm wondering, is the mind games, is they're gonna throw Kovalev off, or is Kovalev just gonna adapt and just keep trying to punch through Bernard? Because like you say, he's a deadly puncher, and he's the type, like he likes to try to punch through your guard. So this is interesting. I mean, like you say, I seen Karo Murat hit Bernard Hopkins with some nice clean shots, and he looked like he never hurt him once. So and to be a 50-year-old man, well, just about 50 years old, and to be taking those type of shots, that is, I mean, very unprecedented. So like I say, I think this fight is going to come down to like I say, with Kovalev needs to have a consistent body attack. He also needs to make Hopkins feel his power early and often. And then on the flip side, Bernard Hopkins needs to come out and make the subtle moves to get away from the power, go to Kovalev's body as well, and also try that left hook upstairs, because I believe Hopkins will have a lot of success with it.
Yeah, and Hopkins' power is underrated, even though you say, well, why you say it's underrated? He hasn't had a knockout and certainly a knockdown up into the Shumanov fight, I guess 10+ years, but he sat down on those punches against Murat, man, and he could have, Murat was a tough guy. He was in there. That was an exciting fight. They both was trading big shots, but he was sitting down on them left and right hand. And something tells me about Kovalev is that he doesn't have a weak chin, but he has a chin that can, I'm not going to say fail him, but it's a shot that if, B-Hop sits down on it and lands at one of those levels, that he can be put down, because he was put down by a jab by Campanello, even though that was kind of like an off-balance shot, but still, you know what I'm saying? B-Hop has power. He has to get the respect of Kovalev early, so he just won't get overwhelmed, you know what I'm saying? Because He is 49, and you never know when Father Times come knocking. It could come knocking. He can come looking good in the fourth round, and then it show up in the fifth round, and you know what I'm saying? It could be over like that. But B Hop definitely he needs to establish his rhythm, and he needs to be a little active and come take the fight to him. You know what I'm saying? He needs to show him that just because I'm 49, I'm not gonna let you bully me and out muscle me. Because other than
Yeah,
power being the big physical difference, they're close in height. B Hop has a 3-inch reach advantage, I believe. So it's not like Kovalev's a 6'4", light heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? That's super tall and athletic. They both average height for light heavyweight. So, B Hop definitely needs to be aggressive. We already know he's gonna be smart with his aggressiveness, but he needs to be aggressive and get his respect early with his power.
I definitely agree.
While spinning them also.
Exactly. I was just going to mention that, but another thing too with this one, Bernard is cagey, so like I say, the mental game that he plays with younger opponents is the type of thing I'm wondering how is Kovalev going to act, because Kovalev have a I don't give a fuck type attitude. So we trying to see if Kovalev is going to be like, okay, you know what, all right, you want to do this, I'm going to do that. So I mean, I'm wondering if this fight starts to get a little dirty, how is Kovalev going to react to Bernard Hopkins getting dirty? That's what I'm wondering.
See,
Go ahead.
and reason who's the referee? This fight is gonna be in New York, right? Or is it in Atlantic City? Which one is it? Is it at the
Um, I honestly forgot. Honestly, that's tripped out. Yeah, I honestly forgot that though. I really did.
But if Steve Smoger is the referee, that if Steve Smoger is the referee, you know what I'm saying, he's known to let guys fight. And if that dirty shit get to going and B Hop not careful, Kovalev got the power to just, you know what I'm saying, you got your hands down or you trying to do all that and he gets you, B Hop could be hurt from that, you know what I'm saying? So B Hop has to be aware. It depends on who the referee and what's their style of, officiating the fight. If they're the type to let them fight or the type to break it up. But if you got a referee that's carefree, then B Hop has to be careful for that because Kovalev got some. I don't give a fuck about it. I
Yeah, he does. He does have that
there and
mentality.
he said he don't have a game plan, but I hope he lying about that.
You know what? Hey, I think it's more of a case. He's saying that to like be like, yeah, well, I don't have a game plan. I'm gonna go on this one and I'm just gonna punch that type of stuff. I think that's more the mental type games there. He definitely has a game plan for this fight, because if he goes into the biggest fight of his career with no game plan against a skilled fighter of Bernard Hopkins tactics, he's gonna get outboxed thoroughly if he goes in this one without a game plan. So he has a game plan.
I definitely agree. And also, man, hey, my phone cutting off, dog.
I mean, well, we might as well go and get down to it. What's your prediction?
B Hop by unanimous decision.
Okay, and this one, like I say, it's just me now. But I mean, I've been up in the air on this one for a while. I'm still indecisive, but I'm gonna go and make a decision. I got Bernard Hopkins winning by a split decision in a very close, exciting fight, a 7-5 type fight where both guys had their moments. I think that it's possible that Kovalev might drop him in this fight, but it's also possible that Bernard Hopkins might come out there and have the remedy for everything Kovalev is bringing and thoroughly just get a big win. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna hold you guys too long. This is gonna be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys hit the like button for us. Leave your comments in the comment section. Definitely we'll get back to you at our earliest convenience. Also go over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button for us. Also go to Facebook and hit the like button on Colossal Boxing Talk. You can also go to Twitter and Instagram and follow us at Colossal CBT. This is the Big Smooth Show. And ladies and gentlemen, we are